Okay.
Awesome. So I'll start with the first question and says, how were women, both angels and fallen women, in these poems? Um, well, like in the first poem, you can see that it's pretty obvious. Like there's one sister, Laura, I think that's her name, who is, I would think, the fallen woman, the one that decides to follow temptation and decides to partake of the fruit. Um, and there's the other sister, Lizzie, that is like decides to stay righteous and not partake of the fruit. So and then later on in the poem, she actually ends up saving the the other sister. Mm, so Lizzie would be kind of like the angel, not only because she was righteous and she did everything right, but she also saved the other sister from falling. And the other poem, the Blessed Damsel, is well, I think I'm not sure if she's the one that's waiting for her lover to die, or I mean, I don't know if she's the angel in heaven, which kind of like in the picture shows that like she is up above just with the flowers on the side, and so she would literally be an angel, which I think that's what it is. The poem was a little bit confusing, but mm, yeah, that was, I think that's what I could say. So
Oh,
they were,
okay.
yeah.
Cool. I think you're right about that. As you had the same feeling about the first poem with who how the women were both an angel. Um, like Lisi, as you said, that she was the saving person trying to save her sister. I think that's just really so nice of her to feel that for her sister, even though that her sister was in that fallen state of being tempted to give out her hair for and her beauty just to get that the fruit from the goblin man. So I'm just thinking, yeah, you. I agree with you that Lizzie was a saving. She was an angel to her sister. With uh, Damozel's poem, I think um, she was the angel waiting for her lover, just to be able to meet with him again. So I'm thinking that she's the angel also, um, just looking out for her lover and just wanting a time that there will be one time that she will meet him. So yeah, so I just thinking that women's when they are in a fallen state, in they started to realize if there are angels around them to rescue them. Um, and I think those both of those women's are really a saving angel. So yeah. So question number two. You want me to start that one?
Yeah.
Are these images good for women. To me and my thought, I think yes. Um, in some way, I think it is. That's how I feel that it's good for women in some way because a lot of times that the beauty of women is so tempting that we just don't really recognize what we have. Um, and sometimes we give it away and we ended up falling into the temptation um, and things of the world, but then we realize later on the things that we have worth within us, but we sometimes can't really hold. So I'm thinking that this event that these sisters have, I'm really thinking that um, it's a good thing that we can look for. That whenever we are in a fallen state, that we can have help from our loved ones and from those that are around us. And I'm thinking about the Damozel's poem. I'm thinking that it is good for women so that when we think that we are apart away from our um, family, that we can find a way to look for them and always keep them in mind and think about them and what they are doing, even though we may not be able to reach out to them physically, but there is a way for us um, to think about our loved ones. So yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know
Hmm.
how
Yeah,
about.
that's good. Yeah, that was a good comment. Well, like you said, I mean, it represents a lot of things. There's two images. I mean, for the first poem, there were a lot of images. First, there was the one of the two sisters hugging, and it shows a lot of what sisterhood means, like protection and you can count on me, and that's basically how a lot of women are. Like, if you have your best friend, then you rely everything on her, or like if with your sister, with your own sister, you become best friends and you trust in her and you protect each other from evil or kind of like that. The other one, the one that she is, I think Laura is really interested in the fruits. It kind of shows how, I mean, I don't really like that one because it shows that women can be weak. And it is true. I mean, women can be weak and they can, I don't know. I mean, everyone falls onto temptation sometimes. But I think that showed like, oh, they're so easy to tempt kind of thing. But
Mm,
and the other one, the one that the damsel one, that she is looking just up in the sky. That one represents really well of how someone that's really in love, like girls especially, when they really fall in love with someone, and that someone it's not but by their side anymore, they're like devastated. Like they like to be so dramatic, and I include myself in that. But
mhm,
um yeah, and we, but it's a beautiful thing because we care so much for other people. I think that's something that women have, that they care a lot. They're able to fit a lot of love in their heart, and that's why we're able to love a lot of people or love everyone if we want to. So I think that
mm.
that's the third picture. That's what the other one represented. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're
cool.
good.
Thanks for that sharing. That's really great what you share. Yeah, sometimes yeah, it's kind of, we look at it when, yeah, she was weak, that she can't stand it anymore. But giving away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, you want to start the next one?
Yeah. Um, how do the poems differ in the presentation of the image of these women?
Uh, is that like, do they restrict women? Is that the third one? Or?
Oh, um, yeah. Do you mind reading it? Maybe I'm reading the wrong one.
Um, do they?
Oh, yeah. I read it. Yeah. Do they restrict women or empower them? And how? Um, I don't know. I mean, it can be, it's debatable. I mean, it depends on how you want to see it. It can restrict women in the way that women are weak, or and but also, like, for example, the other women that was able to stay strong and not fall into temptation, that
Mm,
that shows that there are, I mean, women that are totally able to control themselves and just do the right thing, and in fact do it so well that they're able to help others. So that's a way of empowering. The
yeah,
other one is the damsel that, like I said, she was so in love that she was able to fit so much love in her. So that empowers not just a woman as capable of loving so much, but caring so much and being able to wait for her lover, which is something that, I don't know, in my opinion, men cannot do. They cannot just be waiting for someone.
yes, yeah,
Um, it restricts also in the way that, since sometimes we are so naive into some things, and we are easy to be tempted. And yeah, it might be true. I mean, we might like to think that everyone's nice, and
mm,
we can just trust everyone, but it's not true. We still need to be protected, not just by men, but by our sisters, kind of thing, by everyone.
yeah. That's great that you shared that, and I'm just thinking about like the blessed um Damozel is like, I'm thinking that it's a little, there's a small, I would say, empowering in this, just as you said, women's become naive in a sense, and um, men usually they want to see the real life, and I'm just thinking like in the Tongan culture, like when a woman died, it's so hard to for a man to leave and just wait that long. So the faster is like maybe 2 or even to a month, the men remarried again. I'm just thinking how they want a real life
Real person
instead.
by real love.
Yeah, like a real,
Yeah,
yeah, like a real love. That's how I look at it. And I think empowering in Lizzie and Laura, like as you said, even though that Laura was fallen, but I think her sister was a bit, um, she was uh, empowering her and helping her to be able to stand and for, even though that she's already been um, fall from what she was doing. Um, so I'm thinking that it's empowering. I don't think it's restricted, but I think it's empowering, and how it's It's just the way they treated each other and how important that they were, that it's not just being fallen away but um, saving her again from the goblin men, even though she was already, you know. So
Mm,
yeah, that's what
that,
I just think.
yeah, it's funny how
Uh,
men. I agree. I agree how like it is so like necessary for men to have like that companion right there. Not
yes,
many wait.
yeah, like I just look at it like it's easy for us women. We wait, you know. It's we have more patience and
Yeah,
but
patience. That's how I put it.
but I don't think men do in a sense. Yeah, I think they're created to be that way. But how do the poems different in their presentations of the image of these women's? So to me, and how I feel about this, the Damozel's poems, it kind of gives more light, um, and I'm thinking that to see her loving again and spending time, just like I think Jeremy mentioned that um, we, we want to spend time together and being able to for them to spend time in heaven together. So I'm just thinking, in a lot of sense, we look at things and we realize how our thoughts leads away with the things that is happening, and just to think about these women, how the flowers and everything, and how her thoughts was just comparing to, it says the brain is like a flower garden. So I'm just thinking, I think Jeremy mentioned that also. It's kind of, it express more about our images of who we are and what we really know and what we can do. Um, is referring to the Goblin market. I think even though that Laura misused her beauty, but it shows that it causes something for her to be ruined and be identified as a fallen woman, while her sister still stand to fight against the goblin men and what they were trying to do and trying to tempt her. So I am just thinking about um, that um, I could illustrate to us um, the way women fell and how we can stand as temptation. And I think it's really illustrate to us whether we look at life as being a light or is being something that loses our concentration. And I don't know. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, she has hard questions sometimes. I don't
Yeah.
know how to. I guess like from I gather like I what I understand from what you just said and from what I read from Passy Matthew and Jeremy, um, I guess the presentation of the image would is like how like the way they act. I
Mm,
think I don't know. I mean that's what I gather from what you guys say. Like what Jeremy says, how Laura, because she decided to partake of the fruit, misuses her beauty and ruins it in a way. And since Lucy doesn't partake of that fruit, she's so perfect and beautiful, and even more beautiful for being more righteous. So yeah, I mean, if it's like that, then I guess uh, it's it's a it's a different type of beauty. It's the type of beauty. It's a moral type of beauty that they would be talking in here.
Mm,
Like if girls do the right thing, then they're seen as more beautiful.
mm,
And I agree with that. I mean, nowadays it's really hard to find a really pretty girl that is righteous, and that because she's righteous, that makes her even more beautiful. And that's why we have the church, I guess. A lot of, I mean, I thank the church for that. mm, and the damsel, well,
mm,
um I'm not sure. Maybe just the fact that she is in heaven, that makes her a perfect an angel. And angels are supposed to be beautiful, and well, in the image you can see she is pretty. I mean, she has a beautiful face, and she's surrounded by beautiful things, and she's all um happy, just waiting. I mean, so anxious to see her lover again. So um yeah, and like you said, yeah, I think that's all I can say from this.
oh, okay. Thank you. Um, the next one, you want to start us off with the next one?
Yeah.
Is the,
Is there any evidence that the brother sees women differently than the sister? Mm, I don't think so. I think that, well, I don't think so. I think that, um, I mean, brotherhood and sisterhood would be similar. I mean, when I suppose that when a brother has another can rely on another brother. I mean, it's a really loyal relationship, and you trust in them. I mean, I mean, I'm not a guy, and I don't have a and I mean, I have a brother, but I'm not a guy, so I can't really say. But I would think that there is that reliance between them. I can see my brother with his friends and my cousins, how he has developed that like friendship, and it's like a unique friendship, is something that doesn't change. And the same with sisterhood. I mean, all women are there to protect you in a way. If you I say that if a girl tries to is need help in a way, there will be other women trying to protect her, and that's, I mean, it's the same as a guy, I would think. I mean, I don't think there is any difference, but I don't know. What do you think?
well, I think so. I think I agree with you. I don't think that there's any difference. Just this is how I experience like staying with my sisters and them. That like it's the same feeling. I don't have a I only have one brother, so I hardly can really tell that question like if it's different from sisterly and brotherly. But so I'm just thinking here that I think it's the same. um maybe the same feeling that a sister might have. It would be the same with what a brother will have. And I don't know about the Damozel poem. I mean, writings, and if it's seems to be different or not, but
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much the same. Um, should we go on to the last one?
Mhm.
Um, how do the illustrations in each case add to or change our ideas about beauty and of women and what we see them in the poem? I'm thinking um, that the illustrations in both poems, they give us um, really direct of what women's situations are like. Um, we can see that tempting men's, just like the goblin men's. Um, there are things like that illustrate to us that there are men's out there that are not really good, that they just want the beauty of women, to be able to make them fall. And so I'm thinking a lot about real life situation. And there's sometimes as women, we feel for those that are in a fallen state just because of you know people like the goblin men are out there, and that's what they are intent for. And it just illustrate bad habits, or you know so I'm thinking about the blessed Damozel's, how that when women are beautiful, that they will be, we feel their beauty in the way that they are, the things that are around them, the things that are surrounding them. And just knowing that they are in heaven waiting there, it's just beautiful to know. It it just illustrates to us that um, women in their way are beautiful where they are. And I'm just thinking about the situation, and how in each case they illustrate to us our ideas about women's situation and how things happen to them. So I I think that we need to really look deep at how important our beauty is to us. Like what you say, women can be more righteous when we see them and they are more beautiful. But I think that it also illustrates to us a sense of awareness to women need to have towards um, others and those who are out there. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Um. Okay. That was good. Yeah,
Um,
like you said, the images, I think they illustrate pretty well what their what the poems are talking about. I mean, you can see that. Uh, it, I mean, it represents pretty the situation, like Laura just eating the fruit right there and just being wasted. She's just wasting not just her life, I mean, not just her beauty, but also her life.
Mm.
And then you can see Lacey like trying, like kind of like hugging her and trying to make her feel good. And I think that that one's like the most that touches me the most, because it's like sometimes uh we need someone that's right there telling us it's okay. Uh you fell, but you can make it again. And that's why she becomes an angel. I mean, in real life there are those people that are angels to make us, help us do the right thing. And like you said, the Damozel one, she it's a beautiful situation of a girl in love, just patiently waiting for her lover, not knowing what he might do, but she's just there waiting for him. And that is just beautiful. The pure love that someone can have for another one, and that naive thought that mm. So I think they're pretty good. I mean, the last one, it's what is beautiful about it is I don't really know what the people in the middle represent. Probably like I don't know, the way that he can get through that through her
Mm-hmm.
to her. But yeah. So I think they're pretty good illustrations.
Yep. I, is that
Okay.
just the questions? I
Yeah, I
think
think those are all.
I think those are just the questions. Yeah, I think
Awesome.
we're pretty much covering that. Thank you for helping
Yeah,
out.
no, thank you. I'm gonna go put this baby to bed because he's about to go to bed.
Okay. Have a great night, Priscilla.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.